Welcome to the Good Friday meditation for Loudon United Methodist Church and Pastor Randall. Thank you for joining me today. Again, we're having a service today at noon and at 7. But for those of you who cannot come out, again, the service is a very experiential service. And so we're not live streaming it, but I wanted to create a space for those of you who cannot attend. As we come to this Good Friday, much like Maundy Thursday, but that's a weird word as it comes. Perhaps Good Friday itself is another word that seems to another day that has a weird name. What's so good about it? Jesus will die, and we will see the worst that humanity has to offer. A conspiracy of religion and government will work to kill a man who literally just said, "Love one another." Except for he also turned over some tables in a temple, and he also taught people to be free, which is bad for business. And that's terrible. So what's good about Good Friday? Well, each year we use a different gospel, and this year it's Luke's turn. And I want to focus on two parts of Luke's gospel narrative. One part is in the face of all this terrible, terrible humanity. Jesus, when we talk about Jesus taking sin upon himself or experiencing the worst humanity has to offer on this day, from his arrest and the brutality of his arrest to the the fact that his trial is rigged, both with the Sanhedrin and before Pilate, which is the one who has the power to condemn him. The fact he is beaten by the soldiers to the point where he cannot even carry his own cross as he stumbles and falls, and Simon of Cyrene has to carry the cross for him. Jesus says to women who are crying and wailing, a reminder to us that though a crowd gathered outside of Pilate's, it was a picked crowd. Hey, they're going to have Jesus come. It was a crowd that was handpicked to deny Jesus, to set him up, to let Pilate know the easier answer is to kill him. And again, there's another tragedy because here's Pilate, a very powerful man who acts a lot like he's in charge, but at the end of the day, he makes the convenient choice to kill the man who's less popular, which appears to be Jesus. But these women are wailing, and Jesus says to them, "Oh, women, don't cry for me. There will be a day," as Jesus prophetically sees the fall of the temple, when you will cry for the rocks to fall upon you and your children will suffer. Kind of calling back to that prophetic phrase, Rachel will weep for her children, which Matthew, of course, uses to describe how bad things are in Bethlehem back at the birth of Jesus when Herod tries to kill all the children under 2. As Jesus is being nailed to the cross, he cries out, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." Or as it is beautifully rendered in the King James, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." And so here is Jesus asking forgiveness for the very people who are torturing him, the very people who are killing him. Not just the soldiers that are there, which is an important thing, but for all of the folks along the way, from the high priests to Pontius Pilate to the soldiers who beat him to now the soldiers who are executing him. Judas, who betrayed him, would be included in that. Peter, who denied him, and all the disciples who just ran away and were generally disappointing. As he's hanging on the cross, Jesus gets grief from another revolutionary, a violent criminal. Two violent criminals he is between. For cursed is those who hang upon a tree, Deuteronomy tells us, and Jesus is hanging out with the accursed. And one of them's just giving him grief. Hey, Messiah, save us too. Save yourself, save us. Let's overthrow Rome. And of course, the guy doesn't believe it. He's just giving Jesus grief. Uh, we call him a thief, and sometimes we think of thieves as more sneaky. But this would be a bandit, a robber. This is a man of violence, and this man whose life, at least toward the end of it, at least, was dedicated to violence, says, I just have one request that you'll remember me. He sees Jesus's virtue and he asks to be remembered and not forgotten. That's a very simple request, to which Jesus says, and tonight you will be with me in paradise. Even as his body is shutting down from the extreme suffocation that comes from crucifixion, Jesus is out there saving. Finally, Luke records his last words as this: into your hands, O God, I commend or I give my spirit. The man, as even as the man's life was emptying out, he was still doing what he was to do until the time came to give himself back over to God the Father. This is the part in the sermon, and I won't torture you with my singing, where we would sing, what wondrous love is this? And the great hymn's words are, what wondrous love is this? O my soul, O my soul. What wondrous love is this, O my soul? What wondrous love is this that calls the Lord of bliss to pay a terrible price for my soul. Today is Good Friday, not because it was fun and not because it was good in the way we think of good things happening. It was good because God's work was accomplished. Jesus takes all the rage that humanity can give anyone and converts it through his virtue into saving power. And so, as we face some of hopefully nothing as bad as Jesus, but as we face the worst within ourselves and within our world, we know that that love, that wondrous love, can save. And so, it's Good Friday. And may your Good Friday be holy. And I hope we can see you Sunday. And if you can't come to church, we're participating in the community service at 7 a.m. up at at the Loudoun County Cemetery. We are also, of course, going to meet here in the sanctuary at 11 for a resurrection service, for Easter Day service. I hope if we can't see you in person at one of those, we can see, we'll be live streaming that and we'll see you online.